Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tea and Coffee with Paula Rand.
Jay on a Tuesday morning, and look, winter is coming. We're in autumn. We're getting close to autumn here.
It's dark in the mornings. Boo! Boo! Evenings not so bad, but yeah, the mornings hurt when you wake up and it's dark.
But you are alive.
I'm alive! Woohoo! Yes, I'm alive, but I'm tired. Heads up, I'm very tired this morning. I don't know.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You didn't get your tea in yet?
Not yet. It's still steeping.
Go on. Get your tea in you.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us again, and to the fine gentleman who's possibly in his car driving to work, listening to the show. Let me share a message from him. We'll keep his name off for now, although he's an amazing man. We got this message, and if you ever want to send something like this, feel free. We're happy to share it. Hey guys, been meaning to send this message for a couple of weeks. I used to have Shawn Newman as my morning commute through thoughtful conversation, but now tea and coffee each weekday has become my source for thought and to consider. The format is excellent and brings this old man back to talk radio, which I completely stopped listening to in 2020 after I couldn't take all of this anymore, all of the lies. I just wanted you to know, well done, keep up with the new show, and it is appreciated even if guys like me do listen but cannot catch it live. I know this is our gate. And the next picture of his gate. Listen to Shawn Newman right after then. Don't stop listening to Shawn Newman. We're not trying to compete with him. He's a great guy. We did an interview with him. It'll be coming to you. But it's lovely to hear that somebody's going back to talk radio because it's something worth listening to.
Yeah, no, and I thought that was a really nice message to get yesterday. Really appreciate it.
Or better than some of the other messages we've received.
Oh my goodness, yes. For those who, and you know what? Thanks for letting me know that I live rent free in your head. Thanks for sending us some of the random comments and emails that you do.
It's out there. It's out there. But there's love in the air. Maybe things will get better out there. Okay. My poem of the day.
Yes. How very kumbaya of you, but yes,
kumbaya.
It would be nice.
We're getting there. I also received messages, plural, yesterday about why we're not talking about the ostriches over in BC at the Universal Ostrich Farm. Several reasons. This particular program, if you've been watching it for years, will take hits and get punched and all that kind of stuff because we are focusing on truth. And we want to make sure that we're getting the truth out there. And I can't, in good conscience, get into that subject because I can't get past, and I've tried. I've reached out. I've certainly tried to start digging in. I don't know, maybe my reputation precedes me, but I'm unable to get more information than what's been put out there in the main channel for the Freedom Group. And the stuff I have found, though, I have problems with it. So I'm just going to kind of stay out of that conversation. It's been well covered by many other groups and organizations. They're camping there. They're there for a while. They've been filming and live streaming. So we'll just leave it where it is, so that people can see and get updates on what's going on the ground there. But I'm not able to, with good conscience, give a full version of what I understand to be there. I'm having difficulties getting through to the information.
Yes, so all the information.
So for that reason, I'm just going to kind of step away. I don't want to cause any headaches or problems for anybody involved because I don't have a direct enough contact or information. So we're going to have to see this one play out. I'm sure just like a lot of other things here in Canada, more and more of the information will come out later. It's sad that people are very upset about this, and it seems to be unfolding before our eyes. Today may be the day that people were hoping wouldn't happen. It's nice to see the support from the US on this subject, but I don't have enough to really go any further than all of that. So I did want to acknowledge it because it's not that I don't know about it. Of course I know about it. From the very moment the word ostrich hit X, I was looking into it. But we'll leave it to others to flesh that story out, and we'll see where it goes in a bit.
Yes.
So on that, I just wanted to highlight that, yes, we are aware. We're trying to bring you the news and truth, and we'll let others tackle that subject.
Yes.
All right, cool. So No update on this. No, we kind of did. We got some more equipment for the studio, a couple more things that are going to be going up. So that's
Yep.
part of the homestead
Mm.
for a little update there. And almost done. I think I got 3 little projects in here, and then this is a full-blown studio.
Yay.
Because at that stage I'll be able to look at the camera properly, and we're gonna also have hopefully a 3rd camera. This one hopefully we'll be replacing soon, so we get you a better shot and things work out better.
Yep. Yes. So as I continue to look at you there, Jason will stop looking at it there. So, so that's
It's
the
true.
plan.
I'll be there. It's hard for
Yeah.
me. I need something to look at. I can't just look at empty space with a lens. It's weird for me. I like to see the guest. So we're going to put up a couple monitors above the cameras, and that will force my eyes to be right where they need to be. So anyways, on that note, thank you all for joining us, especially our gentleman driver. Good morning.
Good
To Talk
morning.
Radio with Paula and Jay.
Well, you know what? I enjoyed it. What was it? When I used to do the drives either to or from you when you were living in Toronto and I was still in Mississauga, Ontario. Yes, we lived. I used to listen to 680 News because it would give me the traffic every 10 minutes, something like that. And yeah, I enjoyed it. Because I am one of those people that if the song on the radio is not one I want to listen to, I like to have all the stations tuned and I'll hop. There was one time I think I hopped through 4 stations that were all playing the same song. So yeah, I enjoy talk radio too because it gives you to listen to and keep the mind stimulated.
I knew early that she liked me when she said,
Yeah.
I must like you because I'm willing to drive through Toronto traffic to see you.
Oh, dude, dealing with the Gardiner Expressway going into Toronto in the evenings, you just come down, was it the 427? It hooks around and you just saw bumper to bumper lights.
It was all right. I think it was worth it. Yeah, I used
Oh,
to
for
live.
sure.
I used to live basically downtown Toronto, right by Much Music. If you know where Queen Street is in Beverly, that was my stopping ground for a while.
Yep.
That's where we met. And I used to walk to work and all that kind of stuff. I used to
now you still do.
That's true. My commute got cut in half too. I went from the shed to the studio, which is about 50 yards closer to our front door. If I'm running late, I'll send Paula a message. It's the traffic.
Yeah, it's the traffic. Sorry, I'm going to be late for dinner. There's traffic.
Yeah, but that's where I used to work downtown. Lots of stuff going on with tech. It was a ticketing company, Take a Break. And we were taking on Ticketmaster. So we've been trying to slay the dragons all along, like the big dragons all along.
There you go.
Kind of in my blood to be the underdog. And yeah, it was good times. We used to go clubbing. I listened to the music. And then we got married and went to the suburbs.
Yep.
Then had children and went to the rural.
And
then we got into homeschooling and went really rural into Alberta. Yeah, I don't know if we can go any further, like maybe a cave or something.
Yeah, because we're already off grid, right? So I don't know.
Yeah, and she's getting her tea in her. You can see she's perking up. Good morning. I need it. What do you drink, by the way? People want to know.
Roboy. It's a decaffeinated red leaf tea.
Decaf?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm of the age, as many women will appreciate that, caffeine and like, hey, bathroom, here I am. So, and this one is the closest it tastes to English tea that I've found. I don't do herbal teas. They're not strong enough.
Fair enough. And I'm random coffee, whatever pops out of the
whatever I buy you. Yeah. It's whatever I buy.
As long as it doesn't explode in the coffee maker, I'm
that's
happy.
Gross when that happens. I see that happen. It's like, oh, I gotta throw that away, gotta rinse out the cup.
We get used to it. Maybe just drink it down. I haven't done that yet.
No.
All right, so let's jump into the news. There is some stuff, but I did want to kind of highlight and update a bit of the ostrich thing. Yes, today they have served a warrant yesterday, and the owners will have to leave the property today. And if they don't, they'll be arrested. And I think everybody understands what's coming next. Okay, so update on that one. Let's get into the rest of the news. He's back. Kimmel's coming back. So it was a suspension. It was very tough to figure out really what was going on. And this is kind of a part of the ostrich story. Why it's difficult to just come out with news you find on X. Because he wasn't canceled. He was suspended indefinitely with some of the first reportings. But then, our side or a side just kind of ran with it. And in a way that was very difficult to kind of figure out what was going on. But now we know he's back. There's been some violence towards ABC. There was a shooting, like one of their stations got shot up, bomb threats, all this kind of stuff. So You know, the narrative out there is, why are they bringing him back? Is it because he caved to the mob again? And no, these are all just business decisions.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that at some point, they'll replace him or move on with the show or something else like that, because this is a dying market. The morning shows with Paula Jay have taken over. So we'll see where this goes. But if anything, he's got a lot of attention now about it. I said on Saturday that I don't think this was because of obscene and offensive language. I think it was because it was incorrect information.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing that happened with Stephen King. It was incorrect information. He got backlash quick. And I don't think it's the mob forcing these guys to do stuff or the networks to do stuff. It's the lawyers, because defamation, Kirk's estate, Erica, she certainly can sue for some of this stuff. Other people can sue. Even the family of the shooter can sue if he's being misrepresented and defamed. I think it's the lawyer saying, no, look, either you're a comic or you're a commentary. And if you're commentary, you have to be accurate, because you're open to defamation.
Exactly, yes.
So I think that's what we're seeing here unfold. We already see the hate speech stuff coming out with the laws in Canada. US is talking about it all over Europe. I think the next one after hate speech, because we're all going to be kicking and screaming on that one, is going to be truth speak. The next one's going to be, like, if you read 1984. Truth speak will be the next one after that. So if you don't talk truth as they see it, you're going to get yourself into trouble. And I think this is the beginning of that percolating up, because even left, right, center, up, down, whatever, they're all going after them for incorrect information. So that's what I think Kimmel did, because if you watch it, it wasn't really offensive. It was at best rude, but it was incorrect.
Correct. And that exactly correct. He was incorrect with his statement and his referencing to the political affiliation of the shooter.
Yeah, and sometimes it's difficult to speak truth, not just truth to power, but also truth to mobs. It's difficult. We've been through that firing squad a few times. We'll keep doing it though, because just on good conscience, I couldn't do anything else.
Pietro, yes, I put milk in my tea. I put milk and honey.
Yep, and you're using Corey Morgan's honey.
Yeah, Corey Morgan's honey for now, and then when I run out, if I don't get any more from him, I'll get some local honey, because go support local.
It's funny though, because he posted his honey yesterday. I said, yum.
Yeah.
And then I suggested he does a subscription service. So every 3 months it pops up at our door. He liked that. Maybe he'll do it.
Yeah.
Corey Morgan honey. Okay, so Kimmel's back. We'll see how that unfolds. By the way, also some of the affiliate stations are not going to air it. So even though ABC is providing it, they're going to preempt it with something else. I think one of them said some news. So we'll see how this unfolds. But Kimmel gets 167,000 viewers per show, which is nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a dying thing. It's a dying thing. People are online now. They're on streams. They listen to stuff like us.
I thought they hit 1 million.
No,
wow.
167,000. So there's been posts out there like, can my spoon get more views than it does?
Yeah. There's lots of fun things like that out there.
It's official now. President Trump has signed the executive order designating Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. If you look at, because if you're in the community notes, community thing, you read this note and they're like, he doesn't have the power to do that. You didn't mind Barack doing things, you didn't mind Biden doing things, but he doesn't have the power to do that. At least they're dropping the narrative that Antifa doesn't exist. So at least we moved on to the next counter argument. You're on the right side when your argument stays and theirs keeps changing. But first it was Antifa doesn't exist, they're not violent, and now it is he doesn't have the power to stop them. But we'll see where that goes. My post here, though, is Mark Carney will recognize Palestine as a state, but won't recognize Antifa as terrorists. Canada is not safe. The new nation of Alberta needs secure borders with the former nation of Canada. So I'm being cheeky there, because I do think Alberta's headed there. More and more indicators are in that direction. I'm seeing less and less counter and more for. And I'm seeing a lot of messages from people saying, I never thought I would say this, but it's time to go. So I do think we're going to have a new nation. And I say former nation of Canada because that's not the Canada that we know and knew. So it's the former nation of Canada. And we definitely will need secure borders with it because they are getting more dangerous. And we're not taking a position on the Palestine-Israel war here. What we are talking about here is how this is not addressing other types of violence in Canada like Antifa. in Kalistani, and there's other groups that are growing that are not using peaceful means to get their messages out. They're using violence, intimidation, and there's a record of it. It's not will they, it's how much more will they. And I do think that Canada needs to take that seriously. If you're going to follow suit with things like Proud Boys and you're going to call them terrorists, even though they didn't cause any problems in Canada, at least address Antifa, because Antifa has. All right. So I do want to see some movement on that. I have a special guest here today, Teresa Shawn Buckley. They're on the show today. So if you're, this is tomorrow, but this was yesterday's post. They're doing the Health Charter Tour. They'll go into detail with you about what that is. But Shawn Buckley created the Health Charter, which is a document he wants to see the government recognize and respond to, and also honor, that protects your health. Because if you're not aware, Health Canada is now going after naturopath medicines in Canada, and they're trying to criminalize it, basically saying if they haven't approved it and it's not on their list of things that you're allowed, then it's illegal.
Lots of our viewers and chatters already know about this for sure, and they're not happy with it.
Yep. So spread this out. This little yellow Volkswagen bus is going to be making its way across the country. They'll be stopping in Edmonton on the 11th. I'll be there for that. I'm going to help stream it for them. And their plan is to get all the way to Ottawa for the 23rd of October. They have 150,000 signatures on a petition, and these are inked signatures. These are not digital, which does add more weight to them. And it's all about protecting the naturopath medicine, your choice for that. And they're calling it the world's greatest health show. So in 13 minutes, we're going to hear from them, and we'll get into that.
Yeah, links will be shared in the chat later.
Absolutely. I do want people to use critical thinking and keep that in their mind. I know our audience has it, but do spread this important message about critical thinking, because there's an experiment here. It's floating around again. This is not the first time this experiment's been done. It's been done, I think, in the 50s and 60s. It's only minutes, so I may as well cue it up for you.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, because this has been done many times, and it's also been done with monkeys. So there was a monkey version of this where they would put bananas out. The monkeys would swarm to it to go ahead and eat it, and then they would spray them with water and to kind of discourage them from that. The whole group was that way. So as soon as the bananas dropped, they would start to run. They would spray them with water, and in an uncomfortable way. And they kept doing that until the monkey stopped going to the bananas. And then one monkey at a time, they would replace it with another monkey who wasn't there when the water, because they eventually would drop the bananas and they wouldn't go for them. And eventually, one monkey at a time, they would swap them. And when the new monkey would come in, they would drop the banana, and that monkey would run to it, but the others would stop it.
Yeah.
It's like,
don't do it.
Stop it. And it doesn't understand, but it learns that you can't. Okay. So then they replace another one. And eventually, all the monkeys have been replaced. None of the monkeys there anymore had ever been sprayed with water, but they still repeat the behavior, not running to the bananas, because it's learned. So this experiment's been around for a long time. Here's the more recent version of it, and I'll share it with you. Now, I will be speaking over it because there is really no audio, but for the people that listen to podcasts.
This video should terrify you. She's part of an experiment, but she doesn't know it. You see, these people are in on it. So every single time they hear a beeping noise, they stand up. It only takes until about the third time before she folds and stands for no reason. Now, here's where it gets really crazy. One by one, each one of the people leave the room. And now she's all by herself. And the same beeping noise goes off, and look, she stands. Now they bring somebody new in that was not a participant. Remember, she wasn't a participant. She stands up. At first, he ignores her. He asks why. She says everybody was doing it, so she thought she was supposed to. He doesn't quite understand what's going on, but look what he does. He stands. More new people come in, and they all start to stand as well. And remember, all of this started from some fake ass rule that made no sense. And this experiment is exactly why you should think for yourself. This is how bullshit spreads. One person does it, and then everybody else follows without asking any questions. Then it becomes the new normal. This is messed up because this is exactly how families pass down bad habits and how entire cultures can be built on lies. Critical thinking is so important because once you stop thinking, you're no longer living your life. You're just another sheep in the herd.
Yes, I forgot that there was great
Mhm.
description, so thank you very much for that. But this is important to learn.
Yeah, and the great comment here from Colleen. It is sad that this video. It's so sad that this video well describes many Canadians.
100%. It's actually humans
Yeah.
because they learned this about humans a long time ago, and this is exactly how they do it. Safe and effective. Wear a mask. 6 feet. Russia bad.
Mhm.
All these kind of things.
Orange man bad.
Exactly. And then this is why you can get man on the street interviews and like, okay, so why are you here against this person? Actually, I don't know, but I
Mhm.
am because
Because he's a this, he's a that, and it's like,
Yeah.
okay, what evidence? Oh, you can look it up. It's everywhere. Everyone knows it. But why do you know it? Exactly.
So this post here is watch this experiment to understand why you need to think for yourself. The waiting room experiment is known as cultural transmission or norm propagation. Do not conform. Use your God-given free will. I assure you, if I was that person in that experiment, I would sat there laughing at them the entire
Yeah.
time. Like, what are you guys doing? I would kind of figure it out that something's going on here,
Mhm.
and I don't want to be part of it. So it definitely takes a certain type of person. We are not the majority.
Yeah.
And that's something to remember. Because as you saw there, eventually that room started to fill up again, and none of them were part of
Just
the acting.
craziness.
They were just following. And I didn't see any of them sitting down. They just followed the crowd. So this is, we have Donald Best that says, do not comply. I think another more important, stronger message is do not conform.
Yep.
Because if you don't know why it's happening, think about it.
Yeah. And at least the first guy was right to ask. Why did he then, start doing it himself? That's a weird one. It'd be like,
Yep.
and I got, we got sore knees and backs. I'm like, no. Standing up every few minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if that was like a Vax clinic or something, and you kind of predisposed to that kind of mentality.
Yes.
Because if that was around here, laughed, whatever. All right, Billboard Chris, keep up the strong, good work. Got a message here, and we've had him on his messages on a couple times now. He was being asked if anybody's written a profile of him, like why does he do this? Many profiles have been written, and I don't consider I need to answer the question why this. If you're asking why a man should work to stop one of the greatest child abuse scandals in history, then you're asking the wrong question. You should be asking yourself why you yourself don't really care. Keep it up. Okay, look, he's fighting against the trans narrative, the attack on children, exposing them to sexuality early, and keep it up, Chris. Father, and he's definitely going to continue that fight regardless of how arms of his they break.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
there's another Antifa victim. So Antifa broke his arm on camera. Like there's, anyways.
But they don't exist.
Maybe they're going to try and get a state one day, and
Oh,
Carney will recognize it. All right. So in case you missed it, the Empire rebranded and has a mission. Something I want to just keep harping on because the Empire, had a good chunk of the world at one point. The sun never sets on the British Empire, et cetera, et
Mhm.
cetera. There's a lot of control going on as they were expanding the empire. But in modern times, less and less countries are part of the Commonwealth, and that's smart. But the powers behind this never stopped. And no, it's not the king. The king reports to someone too,
Yeah.
and reports to a group or a committee. But now they kind of is rebranded. It's the UN, and they're pushing the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. If you want to be reminded of them, there's 17 of them. They always sound sometimes like, hey, this is a good thing. How do you say no to this? And that's part of the groupthink that we just spoke about. Okay,
Mhm.
you think you have to give a little bit of something that you can't really argue against, and then you bring the rest in. So no poverty, no hunger, good health. I think you got a lot of people at that point. Quality education. A lot of people would argue that.
Mhm.
Gender equality. Oh boy. Now we're getting into the crazy stuff. Clean water and sanitation. Probably get behind that until you realize they mean they control it.
Yeah.
So your access to it is going to be gone. Renewable energy. We use it, but I don't think the world needs to change to it. And we use it for our financial reason. We don't use it because we're saving the world. We use it because financially it works for us. Doesn't work for everybody. Doesn't work everywhere. And it definitely is a lot more work. If we had a power grid connection, you would sleep all the way through winter. You'd have no problem. But we do have to work our way through that.
Yeah.
So we address it. Good jobs and economic growth. What they mean there is controlled by them. Remember, all of these are controlled by them, the UN. Innovation and structure. Here's where all the digital stuff is coming in. Smart cities. If you look into that one, it's pretty bad. It's coming up too. Reduced inequalities. We are very equal society, more equal than we ever were before. This is the DEI stuff being forced.
Correct.
It's not even true. It's making inequalities. Sure, it's not reducing it. It's creating it. Certainly, I've run into it a lot. But this is since childhood. They just keep changing the name of that. 11, sustainable cities and communities. Here's your smart cities. You want to go to zone 2, get a pass. You better have a reason.
Yep.
And you don't worry, you don't have to bring your papers and bring your digital. That's where they're going.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Bring your digital.
Responsible consumption. Here's where social credit scores start to come in. Did you eat too much meat? Are you using too much fuel? Did you travel too many times?
Yeah. Your carbon footprint was X amount this month.
100%. And this is what they're talking about, because consumption, well, that's consumers. Responsible, whose definition? And what does that actually mean? Wow. Good luck with that. Climate action. I do not believe in climate change. I do believe in environmental change. I do think you can take care of your environment. Don't pollute the waters. Don't be irresponsible. Clean up after yourselves. I say basically the same thing to our children. You know, take care of your environment.
Smaller and less packaging.
But I think it's hilarious how it looks like that all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
Even sending that little message.
Always watching.
All-seeing. But yeah, I definitely don't believe that humans are responsible, because humans didn't exist 5 or 6 other times climate changed. But suddenly we are now. Life below water. They want to take over all access to fisheries and control that. Again, as part of their ensuring that they have the power to get to the food source. Life on land. There's the other one. So there's going to be not just birds, but cows and ostriches and other things. Pay attention to that. Peace and justice. That means control the courts. And they're well on their way on that one, for sure. If you want to, hey, we better start talking about this now before those laws come in. Considered hate. That's exactly where we're headed with that. And partnership for the goals. So very few of the people involved in this really understand how negative it truly is. Just like that groupthink thing. At the end, none of the people know that it's an experiment, but there was an experiment. There were people running the experiment.
Yeah.
And just like this, there's a lot of people that get involved. They get very passionate about it because they believe what they're doing is right, but they actually don't understand what's going on. It's called compartmentalization, where people don't know the whole thing. They just know the little piece of it. And that's exactly how you get a large number of people in the millions pushing something they don't fully understand. So there's a lot of people that will stand up when it beeps, and they don't really know why, but they'll continue to do it and then teach others to do it. That's where we're going with that. So gentle reminder. Are we doing time? Oh, we got to get going. Our guest will be here soon. Detective Helen Gruce. Read this Chris Burnett thread. He's amazing. Donald Bass, Vincent Gersey, Matt Horwood. There's many that have been covering this. This is a good thread. I've reached out to Chris. I've chatted with him a couple of times. We're going to try and get him on. Chat about this some more. It's always good to see well-developed, well-researched pieces of information getting out there. We're going to follow Chris. This was this morning.
Oh, yeah.
So Polling Canada. I do not believe Polling Canada is accurate in any way, shape, or form. We saw this throughout the election and other polls. It's crap. Right off the bat, they have 1,028 people that respond, and they call that a cross-section of Canada.
Nope.
But they're asking if support for deploying Canadian troops to Ukraine for peacekeeping during a ceasefire, 77% support, 20% oppose. I remember when Canada had peacekeepers. We didn't call them troops. And this is not what it seems, people, okay? It's not a peacekeeping mission. It's a military mission. This is NATO gearing up. They're getting ready to take on Russia. This is going to turn into a full-blown major kinetic war. We're already in World War III, but this will be full-blown kinetic version of that taking shape here. I don't think we should be involved. And I am still running for office, and our guest just arrived too. It's kind of like it's perfect timing. It's a little divine. I wonder where our second one is. We'll see where it is. But yeah, absolutely. So as we said, they're doing a tour with their VW bus, bringing signatures to Ottawa. And they definitely are fighting for our ability to use naturopathic medicine. This isn't a new topic for this couple. Shawn's been fighting very hard in this subject for many, many years. You may know him from his fantastic work at the NCI, but he's been fighting this fight for a long, long time. So Canadians, we're very thankful that we have this couple who's trying to make sure that our health and welfare is in our hands and not the government's hands. And especially since the whole COVID stuff, you should be far more concerned that the wrong people are making decisions for you. But without further ado, let's bring this lovely couple in. Good morning, good morning, good morning, you two. How are you?
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Are you ready for that bus ride? Are you going to start driving soon?
Well, it's always interesting when you're dealing with buses, I guess, with
old Volkswagens.
Old Volkswagens. Yes. So the challenges never stop. So we're in the process of dealing with the steering column right now. So we'll see how that works.
The good thing about those is you should be able to handle it. It's not all computerized. You don't have all this technology involved. Have you figured out your heating? Are you going to have heating in this bus?
Yeah, it's called layers.
Yeah. and duct tape. Duct tape around the holes in the floor. We figured that one out as well yesterday.
Well, congratulations, you two. Teresa, we kind of just bumped into each other again online just last week, and you shared your journey and what you guys are doing here, and I was blown away and very thankful because once again, you guys have kind of pulled yourself out of retirement again. You're getting right back into it. I thought we were going to see a bit of a break there, but this is an important issue for the two of you. So we want to go ahead and kind of jump into why you're up at 7:30 in the morning to talk about this with us.
Sure. So first of all, maybe I should explain the problem is Health Canada wants to get rid of basically our ability to stay healthy. So what we're doing is we're having one of the two things we're doing is starting on October 4th for 3 weeks, we're having an online health show. And so people can log in and watch for 4 days a week for 3 weeks. And we're interviewing expert after expert after expert. But we're also having ordinary Canadians share their health journeys because the reality is there are millions of us that are only alive because of natural health products. And there are, tens of millions of us that are only healthy because of natural health products. But that's forbidden knowledge. We have a strict censorship regime. So anyone who knows those stories, which would be the manufacturers and the practitioners, they will get shut down and destroyed viciously if it's shared. So before let's talk about this censorship because your audience needs to understand. So in the drug world, everything's a drug. So anything used for a therapeutic purpose, either on your body or in your body, is a drug. So if I was to say, Paula, you're looking dehydrated right now, can you drink some water? I just made water a drug because I'm having you use it for therapeutic purpose. No, literally, it's illegal to sell water to treat dehydration unless you get Health Canada's pre-approval, which would cost us tons. Like we'd have to get site licenses and get a product license and pay experts to put together an application to show that water is effective to treat hydration and also that water's safe. Because we'd have to show that water would be safe to consume. So you have to get Health Canada's pre-approval. So everything's illegal, everything's a drug, everything's illegal. You have to get Health Canada's pre-approval. Well, once you get their pre-approval, then whatever the pre-approval's for is all you can say. So let's talk about, let's just use depression as an example. So if you get a chemical drug, a synthetic chemical drug approved to treat depression, all you're allowed to say is depression. That's it. So that's all anyone for the rest of time is allowed to say about this drug that's approved for depression. They can't share clinical trial evidence. They can't do anything with you. All they can do is say depression. Now, that's fine for the chemical drug companies because, their medical reps are going to doctor, and then our government pays for them for these drugs. And they basically have the market sewn up because the taxpayer is paying. When they've designed the system, so for actually treating conditions, you have to go through what's called this new drug approval process. The average cost is over $1 billion. Now, on a simple application, you could do it for several hundred million. But Jason and Paula, on a complicated application, the application fee to Health Canada alone is $250,000.
Wow.
Now, this is by design. So in our lifetime, so the lifetime of everyone on this podcast, the only drugs that have been approved to actually treat conditions are synthetic chemicals that had a patent. And this is by design. It's why when you go to the hospital for anything, there's the odd exception, right? You're bleeding out of warfarin, they're going to give you a shot of vitamin K. And it's an exception because it's the only way they can save you. And they'd have to take warfarin off the market if too many people were bleeding out and dying. But generally speaking, we all know if we go to the hospital, if we engage the mainstream medical system, all we're going to be offered is chemical treatments. Now they have to censor this. So for the natural remedies, even though you might be way better at treating depression, you don't have a patent, so you can't go through that process. You don't have the money and you can't raise the money to go through the process because anyone can just copy your drug when you're done. So, I mean, that's how the game is designed. So our drug laws are there to protect intellectual property. So they're really intellectual property right laws, but we market them as drug laws for political reasons. Now let's talk about how this censorship protects the drug companies. It protects our government-funded healthcare system, but it attacks the natural health community. So, and we'll use antidepressants as an example. So I'm in a court case against Health Canada, and they hire an expert who is a psychiatrist that all this person does. He has a company that gets new psychiatric drugs approved under this process. Well, he complains to me under oath. He says, he starts complaining about how hard it is to get new antidepressants approved. He says, I've got to give Health Canada 2 double-blind clinical trials showing a statistical separation between the sugar pill and the drug, which, we then pretend that means the drug works. But he says, I run 8 to get those 2. Like he's right out of the gate, I run 8. I don't run 2 and then 2. No, I run 8 because I've learned I have to run 8 so that I get the 2 that I need to give to Health Canada showing the statistical separation between the sugar pill and drug. Now, the other 6, they could all be inconclusive. Some might show the sugar pill works better than the drug. Some might show the drug works better than the sugar pill, but the safety signals are too high, so they don't want to give those to Health Canada. But it's illegal for the drug company to share those 6 clinical trials with you, the failed clinical trials. All they can say once it's approved, if person after person after person is complaining to them that, my kid died, it's illegal for them to share that with you because that's health information.
That's
wrong. Do you
wrong.
see the problem? Now, the researchers can publish clinical trials in journals and wherever they want, but we know that they're only going to publish the successful trials. They're not going to publish the trials that failed. So we have, you've got a child and the doctor wants to put your child on an antidepressant. You're just going to think, oh, well, it's approved by Health Canada. It must be safe or effective. But you can't make a good health decision for your child unless you have all the evidence, including the 6, clinical trials that failed, that may have shown the safety signals were too bad. Like, who knows what they showed? But there was no way they were going to share them with Health Canada. Now, this censorship then, which it keeps confidence in the government-funded medical system that we're locked into. We're locked into chemical drug treatments. And the purpose of Health Canada is to protect those chemical drug treatments and get rid of natural remedies. This censorship acts against natural health companies. So, there's an Alberta company called True Hope. We're all in Alberta here on this podcast. So there's an Alberta company called True Hope that developed a vitamin and mineral supplement to treat bipolar disorder. But it also, it treats major depressive order, it treats ADD. It's probably the best treatment for psychiatric illness in the world. That, and there's, the founders split off. And so there's another company, Hardy Nutrition, that has a similar product. But I'm just saying, and they're both, so we've got this, well, for the True Hope, I think there's 30, at least 30.
32?
Well, let's just go 30. I don't know the exact number, but at least 30 government-funded, peer-reviewed research publications, and many in blue-chip journals like the Journal of Psychiatry, the Journal of Child and Adolescent Psychopharmacology, all government-funded. The Alberta government funded a double-blind clinical trial on this product run out of the behavioral research unit in Children's Hospital. It's illegal for that data to be shared with you. So, so your kid's got depression and you're in the health food store and you pick up that bottle, it says something like supports mental health and well-being. Because they're not a chemical drug, they can never get through to be approved to treat depression. And you'll never know that it can treat depression. You'll never know there's government-funded research that would just blow you away. You'd have your kids on it even if they didn't have mental health problems. So this censorship basically prevents us from making health decisions. So we're having a health show, an online health show, where we're basically sharing the forbidden knowledge that no one else can share. So we're having Canadians share their, you probably want them to run it.
Yeah.
But so Teresa's showing you the thing. So at this health show, we're having Canadians basically share what is illegal for them, for the people that know to share. Like I say, the manufacturers and the practitioners, the doctors and the like that know these stories, they will get shut down. They will get jailed. They will get destroyed with fines if they share the information. I'll just share with you one of the stories, which I quite like the story, because at the time the lady was working for Health Canada in Ottawa. So she's in Health Canada, working for Health Canada in Ottawa. She's, PhD immunologist. She's running this important project, and she gets chronic fatigue syndrome. And it's so bad, she can't sleep at night at all. She, her whole life crumbles. Like, all she can do is work. And even during the day, she has to nap to, get through the workday. And just to give you an example of how bad it is, because, she explains to us that she just got fed up. Like, I have to have a life. I'm going to go out for supper with a friend. So she takes the day off work to nap throughout the day so that she can do this. She goes out for supper. Mm-hmm. During the meal at the restaurant, she passes out and face plants into her food. And that ended any extracurricular activity. She's a young woman. Like, can you imagine, right? You're not dating, you have no life. She shared she couldn't drive home at the end of the day. She would have to nap so that she wouldn't pass out in her car. And she was clear in her interview. She would have killed herself if this carried on. The Canada's leading expert on chronic fatigue syndrome was her specialist, who said there's no treatment. There's nothing we can do for you. And she's saying, you just can't live that way. Like you're run down, you hate life, you're catching everything because your immune system's shot. It was clear it was too much of a burden. She would have killed herself. She comes across St. John's wort, and in 24 hours, she's sleeping in the night. 2 decades later, she's never looked back. Now, no one can share that with you, except we're going to share it, right? And it's interesting. We're all these stories, and this is just one, like they'll blow your mind. All these stories have a happy ending, but we're finding we're getting quite grieved by it all. Because even though the ending's happy, it's clear these people suffered a lot. And it's also clear there's a whole bunch of other people like them that are suffering in the mainstream medical system, and they don't know that there's hope. And now let's talk, and then I'm sorry, Teresa will tell you about all the events. I'm hogging things, and I'm sorry, but I wanted to just share how criminal this is. One thing that is so coming out from the experts and non-experts, because people that have their lives saved, they start researching. It's amazing, right? Just like you're passionate on freedom issues, you pay attention and you start researching and learning. So our food supply is basically toxic now. So we have allowed so many chemicals in. We've got this chemical burden, but even if we ignore that, this might sound revolutionary, but the human body needs specific nutrients to be healthy.
What?
Oh, who knew? And we even know what they are. And they're not in our food anymore. So like when they, if you took a cup of spinach 100 years ago and analyzed the iron in it, it'd just be astronomical. And now you couldn't eat enough spinach to get the iron you need. And now this is by design, because Health Canada, which has taken control over our food supply, well, the government of Canada, also Canadian Food Inspection Agency, they know all of this. They could require food to have nutrients, and then we would be fertilizing with broad spectrum nutrients, and we would no longer be using chelators like glyphosate that pull the minerals out, right? So this is by design. So our food system is designed so that we can't get the nutrients that we need. Now, back to the reality is the human body needs nutrients to be healthy. If it doesn't get those nutrients, it's unhealthy. If you allow it to be malnourished for long enough, then it becomes chronically sick. And then our chemical drug model, we don't address the malnutrition. Most of our sickness, the root cause is malnutrition. The U.S. Department of Agriculture, I think it was in 1949 or whatever, like just listed all the chronic diseases that are caused by malnutrition and the specific nutrients that cause it. There's no secrets here. So our system treats the symptoms with chemicals without addressing the underlying condition. I'll just give you another example from a story. We had a young mom. She had two young kids and a husband, and she got what her doctor described as restless leg syndrome. So as soon as she got weight off her legs, so if she went to lay down to sleep, she would get these, she described it as electric shocks in both legs, which in itself was uncomfortable, and her legs would twitch. And the only way to stop it would be to get up and walk around. So she couldn't sleep at night. She's walking around all night. Now, having two young kids is exhausting enough for a young mom. But now she can't sleep, and now she's getting grouchy, and her emotions are wrecked, and the family's suffering, and her immune system shot. She's catching everything. Her medical doctor says, we don't have a treatment for restless leg syndrome. I'm going to recommend that you go on this Parkinson's drug. So she doesn't have Parkinson's. She reads up about this drug. I mean, the short story is the side effects are, well, you can suffer horribly until this drug kills you. Like you don't want to take this. So she ends up going to a naturopathic doctor, and it's like, well, yeah, you need magnesium glyphosate, I think it is, or a specific type of magnesium. Like bang, in a couple of days, it's done. And when I'm sharing this with some health practitioners that we're interviewing, they're kind of like
nodding their heads.
Well, it's kind of like so known in the natural health community that, yeah, you got any muscle twitching, like try magnesium first, because it's not going to hurt you. We're all magnesium deficient anyway, and most likely it'll solve your problem. And if it doesn't, then we'll look at something else. It's kind of like, oh, you're thirsty, drink some water. You're dehydrated. Like it's just so obvious. So why is the medical doctor, now I've interviewed 3 medical doctors for this show, and they say we're not taught nutrition, like maybe 2 hours. So the human body needs nutrition to be healthy. We're chronically malnourished by design by our government. We're getting chronically sick because we're malnourished. And our medical doctors that are trained to give us chemicals to treat the symptoms aren't trained to even understand that we're really just suffering from malnourishment. So we're hoping this health show will solve that. And so we're broadcasting online starting on October 4th. We don't have a schedule up yet at the NHPPA, but we will. And
we start at 7 a.m.
Well, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard,
yeah.
10 a.m. Eastern time,
yeah,
every day. I just want to share the charter first.
Yeah. No, go.
I just feel like we're hogging
No. It's all
the
he's got the
here.
details. I just have the party plans. That's all.
So
I'm the party planner.
Health Canada has been trying to extinguish the natural health community for as long as I've practiced in this area for 30 years. They've always been trying to get rid of us, and it's just public pressure that has kept us here. And they're trying to get rid of us again. But so the NHPPA, which is just a federally incorporated not-for-profit, our purpose is just to protect our access to natural remedies, to protect our health rights, and then to promote truthful health information. So we held a conference, actually 2 conferences back in 2008, and asked the question, how do we solve this? Because Health Canada just keeps coming up with initiatives to regulate us out of existence even more, when the whole thing's absurd. Like, we need the nutrients, so we shouldn't need government pre-approval for things we need to be alive, for things we need to be healthy. So how do we solve this? And the answer was, let's have a health bill of rights. So we drafted what's called the Charter of Health Freedom. No, it has its own website, so just Google Charter of Health Freedom, you'll find it. It's a piece of legislation we want the government to pass. And if they pass it, it will solve our problems. So it takes the health rights the courts say we already have, and it codifies them. It says these are basically above all federal laws and actions. So you have to adhere to these. Jason, this was written in 2008, but one of them is the right to refuse medical treatment. But courts said we had that right? So then it also creates some legal presumptions, like the best source of whether treatment works for a person is the person. Because let's say where this was really shown was in the marijuana cases. So let's say you depend on a treatment to survive, and it's not an approved treatment. So it's not a synthetic chemical drug, because they're the only ones that are approved to treat conditions. And Health Canada's taking it away. Well, if you're, of the 0.001% that maybe would have the funds to actually go against the Department of Justice machine, and so you go to court, and who's going to go to court and argue for access to a treatment if they really don't need it? But notwithstanding that, what the Department of Justice is going to do is hire, at least 3 experts. See, they can only have 5 without court permission. So they'll go with 3 in case they need a couple more if they actually get worried they might lose, because they've got unlimited resources. So they can just kill you with 2 more experts and you run out of money. But they'll have about at least 3 experts who will say, well, you say you have this condition, and we all agree you do. Look at all these approved treatments and look at all the research behind them. They work, and we're experts. We're telling you they work. But the treatment you're using that you say you need, it's not approved and it doesn't work and there is no evidence and you're full of it. And so you're basically, you can lose or run out of money trying to win, to basically even convince a court that you need something that you need. You've tried the other treatments and they didn't work or were killing you. That's why you're there. Like, again, who goes to court arguing they need access to a treatment when they don't? But we're against this Department of Justice machine, which 100% of the time goes against the citizen on behalf of His Majesty's government. So we've got that presumption in there to get rid of nonsense like that. And then it also takes the regulation of our nutrition away from Health Canada, creates a new ministry with a legal duty to protect and promote it. And then it does something crazy revolutionary, is it says, well, we're talking about people's health here. So if you're going to take a product away because you say there's risk, well, what's the benefits? And if you're going to cause more harm by taking it away, if the benefits outweigh the risks, then you actually have to do what's in the best interests of Canadians and regulate it in a way that's going to get the best health outcomes. You see, we don't do that. Health Canada wants to regulate away all risk. Oh, we need to protect you. Well, that's just their political game. When what we need protection from is Health Canada taking away our nutrition. So so we draft this thing. We have a paper petition calling on Parliament to pass it. And Grassroots has just been collecting petition signatures forever. Well, we've got 150,000. We're now the third largest paper petition in Canadian history. And so we're going to drive that across Canada and present it to an MP on the Hill. Yeah, maybe playing the video if she's got that.
Yeah. Do you guys have the link?
Take over.
We don't, but we're also down to the last 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, Teresa, you share what's going on here. Sorry, I hogged this show.
Is this the link here? The video here? Hope
yeah.
is the link?
Yeah.
We'll share that with our audience in the description as well.
So we have so as we go across there we go. So as we go across the country, we have the green highway, the red highway, blue highway, and purple flyway. These are the event locations across the country where we'll be having live events. But it's really important to understand that the actual World's Greatest Health Show will start streaming at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on October 4th. And then in the evenings, we'll be live broadcasting the events as we go across the nation. And if for more information, just go to the website and you'll be able to find the local event and where it's located. If you want to help out, email at info@nhppa.org. We'll get you tied into a local team. And it came to us the other night that it's what we heard all the time in the NCI was the echo chamber, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, do we really need another freedom meeting with the same people?
Well, this is intended to get people that aren't in the freedom community.
And that's the difference.
And they'll come to understand that Health Canada can't be trusted. And that will help them in their journey, because a lot of them are confused right now about what happened. And and not sure what to do, and not sure whether they should still have confidence in Health Canada. So so this is meant to get everyone. Yeah. It's going to be completely unobjectionable, but again, it's going to just explode people's minds to understand there's an entire different world that they're not being told about, and things are not as it seems.
On the website, go to the main page and then click on more information, and you'll be able to find posters. If you just scroll down a little bit, there's free tickets and locations. And if you scroll over, I think there should be posters as well. And
there we are.
Please download these and print them off. Take them to your local health food stores. We need you to be ambassadors for this. The NHPPA are just a few people. There's not very many of us. So we're really relying on the assistance of everyone to really participate. And I suspect by the time we get to Ottawa, on October 25th at 1 p.m. on Parliament Hill. I suspect there'll be a few people that understand that there's a real problem here, and it's about softly waking up people in a kind and loving way, and letting them know that there is hope out there if they're suffering physically, and that there are other alternatives that can help them.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen in the chat lots of people have been putting what their naturopathic remedies have been over the years and how they've worked for them.
And I think people do understand that our health is under attack. We're more obese than ever. We are not doing the right things with exercise. And it's starting to make more and more news out of the U.S. that health is something that needs to be taken seriously. And thank you very much for providing all this information in one spot and this tour. I will see you guys in Edmonton on October 11th. So I'll be there to see what's going on. And you're starting in Victoria on October 4th. We will share all the links that people can get to find out where you're going to be. And God bless you both for this one.
Oh, and one more thing. Yeah. If before we end, if there's anyone that wants to drive with us and has a flatbed trailer, we would really
just in case
we would really appreciate it. Like, and we're not joking. We're actually we're very serious. We may have to pivot to a truck just because we need to make sure that we actually get the charter there and the 150,000 petitions. So
did you hear that, truckers? I'm sure.
Let us know.
I'm sure there's a few truckers out there that might be able to reach out. So info@nhppa.org. You can reach out if you can help in that way or any way.
Yeah, and we're it wouldn't hurt our feelings to have the odd couple of vehicles, driving with us different legs.
Just to make sure that we get there.
Yeah, because it is an old van
and it's a tight schedule.
We're not confident. So.
We may, and a tow rope. I think maybe a tow rope or something. So, but.
Did you have a last minute question for Trump?
No, I don't think we have time for that one now. But I do want to kind of mention our sponsor, the Levine Well for water, bringing water to the Levines since 2021. Put that there. But folks, thank you so much. Shawn and Teresa, you're some of my favorite people. I love talking to you offline, online. I wish we had more time. We definitely going to keep track of that. From throughout your tour, we'll keep reminding people about it, sharing the live link as well, and paying attention to the information you're sharing. You have all this information from the NCI. Now you're doing it again on health specifically. You're taking on Health Canada. And Shawn, I know specifically for you, you've actually had retaliation, computer weirdness, stuff going on with your tires. This came out as you were doing the tour for True Hope. So I'm really proud. I'm very thankful for my children and my children's children that somebody like you two are out there trying to fight against Health Canada. This is more than a David and Goliath. This is David and a mega Goliath that you're fighting here. The two of you stay safe, get a tow rope. We'll try and find you a flatbed. Make sure you get to Ottawa for the 23rd.
Yes, and prayers, please.
Yeah, and prayers.
Yeah, prayers number one. Yeah, all for the glory. Yeah.
Yep. You take care of the rest of your morning, and we'll talk soon. We'll see you on the 11th for sure.
And coffee. It was coffee. It was coffee.
It was coffee? Yeah, I got the coffee.
Yeah, coffee.
Brought to you by Levine Well Water.
Like, what is it? Coffee or tea? It's like tea. It's like, no, coffee.
Yeah. Coffee. And now we just learned Paula has decaf tea. So very good. She's keeping the drugs out of her body.
Yeah.
Two of you take care. We love you both very much. Thank you for
too.
everything you're doing. Yeah. And we'll talk soon.
Take care.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Paula.
So definitely go make sure that you're at one of those events. There's 5 of them in BC, 4 of them in Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, and then there's an Eastern, like she said, there's many different highways. Find a stop, go check it out, get involved, sign the petition, share the poster, put it on your socials, and watch the live streams.
Yeah, one of our viewers is already going to the one in Manitoba.
Congratulations.
On the 17th.
That's awesome. Yeah, so we'll be at Edmonton. At least I will be. Yeah. We'll see if we can get Paula there as well. But we are running late, so thank you all for sticking around for this one. And to our gentlemen listening to us as Talk Radio with Paula and Jay, have yourself a wonderful morning as well.
Take care.
And God bless.